Welcome to Growing Younger podcast, where we guide you through your journey of reaching your fitness goals after 40.
Today we're going to talk about the 5 key deciding factors you need to get right in order for you to have a successful recovery from a knee replacement. Hi guys, my name is Alex Blaszewski. I'm a physiotherapist with over 21 years experience in private practice working with people over 40. So if you were considering to have a knee replacement, or maybe you just had one, we're going to talk about the 5 key principles that you need to ensure you get it right in order for you to optimize the chances of you recovering really well after a knee replacement and hopefully returning back to your pretty good functional levels. So number 1 is going to be getting your range of motion as good as it possibly can be after the surgery. So chances are your surgeon or your physio would have told you that you need to, pretty much as soon as you have surgery, you need to start bending your knee and straightening it to try and get it to move freer, okay? Because naturally after surgery, your knee will be stuck. It will basically, if you have difficulty bending, you have difficulty straightening it. So you'll probably get some stretching exercises to help you get it to move, okay? So essentially my point is you need to do this diligently. The longer you leave it, the longer you wait, the harder it will be for you to get that movement back. So literally within the first few days, you need to get your knee bending, and it may come with a little bit of pain. So your physio will guide you through this process. But I see this in my own practice where people just go, okay, I'll give it a few more days. It hurts a bit too much now, but I'll give it a few days or maybe a couple of weeks, and then I'll start stretching. So you are losing precious time. The more you put it off, the harder it will be for you to get that range of movement back. And the reason is that a lot of the soft tissues around the knee, particularly after surgery, they become harder after some time. So for you to stretch those tissues, for you to get that movement back, it becomes harder and harder as the time goes. So you literally have probably no more than 2 or 3 months window of time to get that bend in your knee as pretty much as early as possible. Now, principle number 2, it comes hand in hand with the point number 1. You will likely get some pain medication prescribed by your doctor or maybe your surgeon. So don't be afraid to take them if it ensures that you do your exercises. So as I mentioned just previously, it is very imperative that you do those stretching exercises to get your knee bending and straightening. Now, as I said, it may hurt too much. Pain can very much be a factor, particularly the first couple of weeks. So if taking pain medication is going to help you get through your exercises more effectively, then so be it. It's okay to take some pain medication to get yourself through those exercises because it's important. It is important. It's more important to get your leg moving than it is to try, because I know some people, they try and avoid taking painkillers because they believe that it will it might have a negative impact on their body, which is it is true to a degree. But like I said, if you put it on a scale, I think the benefits of getting your knee bending early outweigh the risks of taking pain medication. Now, look, I'm not a doctor, so consult when it comes to pain medication. Do talk to your doctor about it. But this is just general information. As I said, it is very important to get that knee moving as early as possible. Look, guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast. Look, I have a little favor to ask you. If you know someone who this podcast could be useful for, I would really appreciate if you share this podcast with them. it would help them, but also it would help me grow the channel as well. Now, factor number 3 is it usually comes a little bit further down the track. So once you get your knee moving a bit better, you will enter into the stage of strengthening. Okay, and again, you're usually given some strengthening exercises at the hospital or given by your physio, your doctor. So it is important to get that strength back, because after surgery, you probably wouldn't be able to put a lot of weight on that leg for a while, for a few days. So naturally, you start to lose muscle strength, and it's important to get it back as soon as possible. Now, chances are, prior to surgery, you would have been in quite a bit of pain in that leg as well. So that would mean that you probably weren't able to weight bear on that leg very well, or you had quite a bit of a limp. So what that means is that for quite some time, probably for at least a few months, you could not walk properly. You couldn't put full weight on that leg. So that would be another reason why you'd be losing quite a bit of muscle strength in that leg. So getting that strength back as soon as you possibly can is going to help you with your recovery. And this probably doesn't come as a surprise to you, but your muscle strength in your legs particularly is going to play a key role in you getting back to your normal or your full functional levels. So things like getting up off the floor, getting up the stairs, just playing golf or whatever you enjoy to do in your free time, all these things, they rely on you having decent muscle strength in your quadricep, in your buttock muscles, in all these key areas of your leg. Okay, and key factor number 4 is doing some balance exercises or balance training. So here's the thing. You, as I said just before, you have lost a significant amount of muscle strength, and the weaker your leg muscles are, the worse your sense of balance is. So what it means is that you're more likely to fall and hurt yourself. And trust me, this is the last thing you want to be doing after a knee replacement. So building some muscle strength is important, but also doing some safe balance training exercises is also very important to help you with your balance. Now, here's another factor why your balance kind of can get affected after knee surgery. Now, normally in your body, you have something called proprioceptors, or little nerve receptors that help to tell your brain what position your leg is in. Now, because the surgeon essentially removes your natural knee joint and they replace it with a prosthetic, you lose your proprioceptors in your knee joint. So your ability to tell what position your leg is in can actually diminish after a knee replacement. So what needs to happen to make up for it is you need to train receptors in other parts of your legs, such as ankle and your hip, to give that sort of important feedback about your leg positioning. And so if you do that, if you can retrain, you can improve those receptors in your hips, in your ankles, but you need to do exercises that will challenge your sense of balance. Now, make sure you're safe. So don't do anything that would sort of put you way outside of your comfort zone. And ideally, you should be guided by your physiotherapy when it comes to balance exercises. Now, factor number 5, and this is the final key factor that we're going to discuss today. Now, this one should ideally come before the surgery. So let's say if you have surgery scheduled in, maybe in a few months, if you're carrying extra weight, it's definitely a good idea to try and reduce that body weight. Okay, so the reason for that is after surgery, your knee is going to be sensitive. It's probably going to be weak. Now, if you are carrying an extra, say 10 or 20 kilos, if you're a bit overweight, it's going to be more difficult for your leg to carry that extra weight. So you're actually asking your leg that's still painful, that's still weak, you're asking it to do more. So you could say that by losing that bit of weight now, you're sort of stacking cards in your favor for after you have surgery, because you'll find it easier to get up on your feet, maybe a bit quicker to move around, to go up the stairs, if you're not carrying as much weight. Now, to do that, you probably, your best bet is to go and see a nutritionist or dietitian, so they can help you, they can guide you. Otherwise, you can just look at your calorie intake. So essentially, for you to lose weight, you just need to have a calorie deficiency. So what it means is that your calorie intake should be less than what you burn through physical activity. And look, I understand you probably are having quite a bit of knee pain right now if you're having knee surgery, so your ability to exercise extensively is going to be limited. I understand that, but you can still manage to just try and be physically active. One of the ways to burn some calories is going to be a stationary bike, so like an exercycle. It's usually a safe way of burning some calories, and it's also good for strengthening some of your knee muscles. Now, as long as you can manage it without aggravating your knee pain. Now, and this is probably going to be more important for you if you're trying to lose a bit of weight, is to look at your nutritional intake, because it's easier to cut the calories down through nutrition than to try to burn them off, especially if you're having quite a bit of knee pain. So that is definitely something you should consider. If you are a bit overweight, your recovery is going to be a lot less painful and more effective if your body weight is within healthy limits. Okay, so hopefully you picked up some useful tips. If you are having surgery soon, or if you just had it, so hopefully you picked up on some of the factors that I put together after being a physio for 21 years. These would be the main key points that I think you should try and get right as much as possible. All right, all the best for now.